Welcome to Kermode Uncut. Amorosanti's United Kingdom opens in UK cinemas this week, and I've spoken about the film before on a blog. I did a blog around the time of the London Film Festival, say that I'd seen it and I liked it very much. But it raised an interesting question for me about the fact that every now and then the right film comes along at the right time. Now, as you may know, recently there was an election in America, and the election didn't go quite the way that some people wanted. So we now have President-elect Donald Trump. Now, regardless of your political feelings about that, some of us were in a bit of a quandary as to how to face a world in which that was what was going to happen. And just after that election was the release of Arrival, a wonderful science fiction movie that had a fantastically positive message. It was a film with a really strong female lead that dealt with ideas of grief and mourning, but tried to turn those into something, uplifting, something positive, something looking forward. And it felt to me that that film was exactly the right film at exactly the right time. It was a film about not getting involved in wars, but finding ways of sorting things out through communication, not through guns and weapons, but through language. Well, now we have a United Kingdom, a story about the discovery of a relationship which challenges ideas of apartheid and puts together a couple for whom love is more important than any form of racial segregation, but also talks about the way in which governments and nations can either fall in line with or overcome prejudice. It's a true story and it's an uplifting story, and it's just the right story that we need now. It's a story about healing, about making things seem like anything is possible rather than nothing is possible. Throughout the history of cinema, we've had films which have come out at a specific time with a specific purpose. Casablanca famously was released at a time that America, having entered the war, was facing terrible casualties and really needed a story about somebody who was neutral, finding that there was a moral need to take sides. Immediately after the war, we had A Matter of Life and Death, which was commissioned with the specific intention of engendering good relations between the Americans and the Brits, who actually during the war had apparently found each other's company a little bit fractious. There's just been a re-release of the fantastic film In the Heat of the Night, directed by Norman Jewison, with a wonderful performance by Sidney Poitier and, of course, an award-winning turn by Rod Steiger. That film came out in the middle of extraordinary social unrest, and it spoke absolutely to that situation at the time of its release. In the case of Arrival and perhaps a United Kingdom, I don't think those films were specifically designed to come out at a specific time. Nobody could have foreseen when they were making them exactly where we were going to be politically now. But they feel like the right film at the right time, saying all the right things, perhaps by coincidence. But isn't that part of the magic of cinema? That every now and then, just through the alignment of the stars, you get the film you need at the time you need it.
Where did you come from?
Now you heard it. What do you make of it?
Is that...
Yes.